Hello, and welcome to another edition of Rail Rangers on the Road. The Midwest Rail Rangers, our 501c3 nonprofit organization, presents onboard educational programs across the Midwest. You may have caught us on the South Shoreline between Chicago and South Bend, Indiana, aboard the Sky Parlor car at the Wisconsin Great Northern, on an Amtrak charter organized by the 20th Century Railroad Club of Chicago, on private rail excursions featuring heritage equipment, and at various outreach events such as Trainfest and Mad City Rail. In March of 2020, the coronavirus sidelined most of our programs. After taking a few months off, we returned with virtual programs, taking you to exciting rail destinations across Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, and Wisconsin. With 2021 now here, we hope to begin the transition back to doing in-person programs. During the months ahead, though, we will continue to bring you new virtual programs as well. So sit back and relax and enjoy another edition of Rail Rangers on the Road. Well, hello and welcome. It is July 4th, 2021, Independence Day. And we're glad you're taking a little break from maybe a barbecue or maybe the fireworks will be going on here in an hour or two. But we're glad you tuned in for another Rail Rangers on the Road program here again, July 4th, 2021, Independence Day. So we're going to keep this program a little bit shorter because we know you got barbecues and fireworks and probably a lot of stuff going on today and tonight. It is just after 7 o'clock here on July 4th. And what we decided to do, and this was an email I got from Janet with the 20th Century Railroad Club of Chicago. And she wrote in and had an idea for one of our programs, for a program idea. Janet, we decided to go ahead and take you up on this. She said, you've been taking us all over the Midwest for the last year and a half or so. And we've taken you to programs in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. She said, you're taking us all over. How about you do a program in your neck of the woods where the Rail Rangers is located? Since December of 2019, our headquarters has been in Barron, Wisconsin, and we moved our headquarters up here. We used to be in the Milwaukee area, but we moved our headquarters up here in December of 2019, just about a year and a half ago. And Janet's idea right here, she said, why don't you show us some of the railroad landmarks around the area? So that's what Candace and I are going to do for you this evening. We are live here in Barron, and then we taped some pre-recorded segments in some other locations. We're going to take you to, in just a minute or two, we're going to show you the depot and tell you a little bit more about our headquarters city of Barron. And then we're going to take you out to the County Historical Society, as they have a caboose out there that Candace will give you a tour of. From there, we're going to head out going east on Highway 8. Probably a lot of you know where Highway 8 is, even you folks from Chicago. Highway 8 is kind of delineates the North Woods and the far northern part of Wisconsin from the rest of the state of Wisconsin. So we're gonna start here in Barron. We're gonna go a little bit east to the caboose, and then we're gonna hit a historical marker as we leave town on Highway 8 that'll talk about the lumber industry. And then we're going to head about 40 miles or so to the east to the town of Ladysmith. And there's a couple of landmarks that Candace will show you once we get to Ladysmith. So here on this 4th of July, we're going to take you to some of the landmarks. So here we are in Barron, and well, Candace is running camera for us. We're short-staffed today. We're giving the rest of our crew off for the 4th of July. So how far are we from our headquarters?
Oh, about 5 block-ishes.
5 blocks. And did you walk over here or did you drive over here?
We brought our trusty Rail Ranger RAV4.
A whole 5 blocks. So yes, this is 5 blocks from our headquarters here. And you can see the rail line here. This is looking toward the east, toward Ladysmith, where we're going to go. And this is toward the west. And if you noticed on the our Rail Rangers website, we mentioned that the Rail Rangers here in Barron is located on the historic Sioux line. And this was the historic Sioux line that connected the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which is that away, with, of course, the Twin Cities, which is 90 miles or so that way. So this was the main line of the Sioux Line Railroad. And if you take a look at this over here, you have the kind of the, I don't know if we can see this that well. Can we see it? They still have Wisconsin Central, which of course Sioux Line became part of the Wisconsin Central. This is one of the DOT mileposts. If we zoom out a little bit on that, and if we come around here, you can see the exact milepost, 90.74. So Barron is located at milepost 90.74, and of course the Wisconsin Central, no more. It is now part of CN, and we do have this CN crossing emergency line over here. So it's kind of cool. You have CN and Wisconsin Central still on this milepost here in Barron. So we're going to walk over here, and as we walk over here, I'll tell you a little bit more about our city, our headquarters city here of Barron. Barron really goes back to about the start of the Civil War, to about 1860. That's when a gentleman by the name of John Corridor set up a logging camp. And guess what? Our headquarters location in Barron, Corridor Creek, runs through the west line of our property at the Rail Ranger headquarters here in Barron. So we are part of history. As we were part of Corridor's logging camp. Really, this area of northern Wisconsin was pretty much wilderness. In the 1870s, a courthouse and a jail was established. In 1880, most of the town was laid out and incorporated 7 years later in 1887. In 1881, the Yellow River was dammed, and some mills, flour mills and some lumber mills, were able to be added when those dams were created. In 1884, the railroad came here. Again, we mentioned the Sioux Line, connecting the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with Minneapolis, St. Paul, and of course the line down to Chicago. In 1908, there was a large fire here in Barron, destroyed a good chunk of the city. It started at the Gordon Bakery, and unfortunately the depot was part of the casualty. So this right here is the 1908 depot reconstructed on the site after the fire. And we'll just walk around the depot real quick. Now you know a little bit more about the history here. What's kind of cool is they've spent many years and a lot of money restoring this. It's now a cafe. It's called the Blueberry Line Cafe. Candace and I will come here and we'll work on some of our editing for our videos, or just sit back and have some coffee.
Yeah, too bad.
And boy, if it wasn't the 4th of July, Candace, they're closed today.
I know. I'd sure love one of their blueberry muffins and a, let's see, what kind of coffee do a caramel macchiato.
Yes, if it wasn't the 4th of July today,
that's right.
You'd be able to, but they deserve a day off too. So if you ever come visit us at the headquarters in Barron, or just are passing through Highway 8 or Highway 53, which is not very far off, come and check out the depot. They spent a lot of money and time over the last few years restoring it. This is the platform here. We're going to walk down it. Some of the bricks are a little uneven, so we'll have our camera person watch your step, as will I. as we walk down the platform. But of course, this is you've seen some of our other station tours that we've done last year and this year, and this is of course probably where the ticket agent would sit and watch out the trains. Not sure if we could put it right up against there if we can see in there at all. Kind of, sorta. We should have done this when they were open, but I guess July 4th was a little hard. But we thought we'd come down here again. So this would be where the ticket agent, the Soo Line agent, would sit here and watch all the trains that would come through. And very beautiful old station. You see again a brick platform here where people would wait for the trains, whether they were going to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan or Chicago. They had a branch line that went to Chicago, or again the other way, 90 miles to the Twin Cities. So hey, yeah, if you're going, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, Twin Cities would maybe be an hour 15, hour 30 away with no stops. And then this is kind of the freight side of the depot. A lot of freight, a lot of agriculture, a lot of products would come through here. As you mentioned, Barron was a milling community and had a lot of agricultural products. One of the biggest consumers here in Barron, one of the biggest factories currently is Jenny O. And they used to be the turkey store, the Jerome turkey store, going back 100 years or so. And they're located just down, if you can see the curve in the line down there. That's some of the store there. And you can see right here, you see a siding that goes off the line. And there was a branch line, actually. Maybe we can throw up the map for everybody. There was a branch line that actually broke off the Sioux Main line. Oh, and it just went down to Ridgeland, which is not maybe 20 miles or so south of here. Well, let's go back this way, give you one more view of this side, again, the waiting area. Again, the freight side. So they would, not only was there a lot of passenger traffic here in Barron, there had been a lot of freight traffic. And there was a, moderate traffic on the line that went down to Ridgeland. But of course, most of the traffic was through on the main line here. So both a passenger side here on the west side, and the freight side over on the east side of the depot. And we'll walk around to the other side. Of course, we also have to move on because we got to get to the fireworks tonight, and we got some other locations to show everybody. But if you're out here, they've added this really nice deck where you can social distance, I guess, as we've been doing now for over the last year. And a nice deck to enjoy some of the outdoors. Of course, this wouldn't have been here. I'm going to go down and around and meet you up here. And then we can show everybody the front of the depot area. And we have some photos that we can throw up here that we found. We found 2 or 3 of the old photos. We could throw them up here to show you just what a bustling place this old 1908 depot was. So if you do come here, the current hours are Monday through Friday, 7 to 4 for the Blueberry Line Cafe. They're open Saturday from 7 to 1 and closed on Sundays and holidays like today. But you can see this would, of course, would have said Sioux Line up here, but it now has the Blueberry Line Cafe. And there is, again, the other side of the freight depot. We were just on the other side of that. So what we'll do is, hope you enjoyed some views here of Barron, the Barron Depot. Again, our headquarters is just about 5 blocks that way. So maybe you come up and visit us. If you're up in Barron, we'll take you over here and we'll have some, I'll take you for some scones, and Candace will take you for some coffee or macchiato. I don't even know what macchiato, what does macchiato even mean? I don't know. It's too warm for that anyway. I could use some nice.
Maybe an iced caramel macchiato.
Okay. I still don't know. What is it? Maybe you could type in the comments if you know what a macchiato is. Anyway. Well, hello everybody, and this is another site on our tour of Barron and Ladysmith for you to check out. Oh look, it's a chicken. Boy, yeah, rooster. I don't know. You get tired of being henpecked by Candace, I tell you. Anyway, we are at another place that you should check out if you're ever in the area of the Midwest Rail Ranger headquarters. And we are at the Barron County Historical Society's Pioneer Village Museum, just on the outskirts of Cameron. We're technically in Cameron, but we're just 5-10 minutes from Barron. So check them out. They do have limited hours. That's their brochure from last year, the 2020 brochure. They are usually open limited hours, mostly on weekends, Fridays and Sundays, 1 to 5, and Saturdays from 10 to 5. Usually open Memorial Day through just Labor Day, so 3 days a week just for that period in the summer. So this is the reason, besides our chicken friend. We'll get an update on how Matilda's doing over here.
Stop chasing the chicken.
All right. We're not here for the chicken. We're here for some of the exhibits that you'd want to check out at the Barron County Historical Society's Pioneer Village Museum. And it includes a caboose. So yes, we have a caboose here in our city of Barron. And Candace is here, and she's going to take you through the caboose.
Hi, everyone. As you climb the stairs to the back of the caboose, of course we have our trusty
Wheel.
No.
Windmill.
No.
Oh.
Handbrake.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so as we step aboard the caboose, it's much like our other cabooses that we've been aboard.
Caboose.
Cabooses.
Caboose.
Cabooses.
If it's goose, geese, wouldn't caboose be geese?
No, it's a caboose.
All right.
Cabooses.
Caboose. Okay.
Anyway, it's much like the other ones that we've been aboard on our other virtual tours. This is a Sioux Line caboose. So you have the area where you could either sit or lay that mattress down to sleep there. We have our furnace, our stovetop here to cook.
What are you cooking?
We're boiling some tea right now.
Oh, is it time for tea on the caboose?
Ah, here we go. The uniforms bill of ladings.
For the Sioux Line, which actually would have been accurate. So
For the Sioux
I wonder
line.
if this would have came off of here.
Potentially.
It would have actually been on this car.
We've got an empty car movement authorization.
For the Chicago and Northwestern, which also went through our area as well, through Barron County.
Some luggage tags, maybe, from the Sioux Line.
For packages, maybe, yeah.
Let's see what else we got in here. Form 316, the Sioux Line clearance.
Oh. Okay.
So probably the area where maybe the conductor did his paperwork here at this desk area.
We got a calendar over here. Can you find your birthday?
All right, let's see.
From 1930.
1930. If I was born in 1930, I would have been born on a Saturday.
But instead you were born in 1830, so.
Ha ha. Robert would have been born on a Thursday.
It's a pretty cool original calendar from 1930.
That is very cool. So we have the more sleeping quarters down here. But then, of course, my favorite. Come on up. 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 Keep going. The cupola.
Ah.
It's my favorite place to be if we get to ride in a caboose is the cupola. Because you've got the best views up there.
Cool.
And this is probably the bathroom, but it's shut right now. Potentially maybe a sink here. Looks like there was a drainage hole here. And then, of course, our handy handbrake again. Watch your steps.
You can see there's the coupler has June of 1951 on it.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the last time it was rebuilt. Is that correct?
Well, at least a new coupler was put on. You don't have to rebuild it necessarily
to
put a new coupler on. But,
well, let's go on down and let's take a tour of the depot. Robert will take you on that.
Okay. So just for people who there's the Sue 251, by the way, who are keeping track at home. And there, oh look, we have a motor car. We got to know those pretty well. We did a program back in the spring where we got to go to International Falls
with our friend Linton Brooks.
Our friend Linton Brooks, and I believe we have a program that's coming up next. Our next program will be in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, by the way, on July the 20th, because today is July the 4th. On July 20th, we are going to, I don't even know if you know this, we're going to Mount Pleasant, Iowa for our next program on July 20th.
And what are we doing in Mount Pleasant again?
Yeah, that'll be our third visit to Mount Pleasant. Our first time this year, though. We went twice last year. We're going to be going on July 20th. We're going to be taking you to Mount Pleasant, and we're going to be meeting a gentleman who has a whole collection of these motor cars. He owns a caboose, and it'll be a really cool program 2 weeks from today. So I'm getting into this motor car thing. Linton gave us our first ride. Gave us our first ride in International Falls about a month or two ago, and then in 2 weeks we're going to go check out a gentleman who has even more of a larger collection of these motor cars, and he's part of a club, and maybe we'll get another ride.
I hope so.
So yeah.
Well, let's check out this depot here.
All right. Of course, today we're sticking close to home, being July 4th. We want to see the fireworks tonight, right? So that's why we're sticking close to Ladysmith and Barron. But here's our.
I'm gonna go while you're telling us more. I'm gonna go over here.
Okay, because this is closed. I think because today's a holiday. Or tonight's a holiday. Today's a holiday. This is the Sioux Line Depot. Can you see the stove in the middle of the room?
Yes, we can.
It's original to the railroad depot. Notice the rim around the top of the stove, which is a unique railroad design to it. Hanging on the south wall are two hoops with long handles. These are called railroad whips. Railroad whips. There were times when the train did not need to stop at a station, but the depot agent had a message for the engineer. The message was fastened to the whip, and the depot agent would stand by the track holding the whip by the handle. As the train went by, the engineer would slip his arm through the hoop and take it on board with his message. Hanging on the wall to the right of the stove was you might have seen a stop sign. On the floor there are several railroad lanterns. These were used for communication between the engineer and the man in the caboose at the end of the train. Of course, there's a telegraph machine. If this building would have been open, the depot would use to send messages to people in other states, including Morse code. So we'll step back down here a couple steps, and you see look up, you see the semaphore signals there. Those were the early predecessors, and the major railroads, if you're wondering, I think we've touched on it, and Barron and Ladysmith has been the Sioux and the Chicago and Northwestern, as you kind of gathered up here in northern Wisconsin. And then we of course have a somewhat modern railroad crossing sign, and then we have not quite sure the history of this, but looks like maybe a kid's train or just say for an exhibit or something. Iron Express 76 it says Crozier Ironworks 76 on the front of it. Obviously not a real train, or maybe somebody built for either the museum or maybe I don't know if the Ironworks would have.
Why don't you go climb aboard, Robert, and pretend you're the engineer?
Can you do that?
It looks like it.
Okay. All right, sure. There you go. Look at that. There's some of the real gauges if you come around here. It's kind of cool. Kind of simulated. So you can kind of play with some of the gauges, I guess. Maybe you could put one of those electric fireplaces in there, maybe.
That's what it kind of looks like. Maybe if you pull on that yellow, push it in, pull it out. Well, maybe it's not working right now.
That's all right. That's all right. So that is another place, as we mentioned, you can check out on our tour of Barron County and over into Ladysmith area off Highway 8. So a lot of cool stuff to check out. All right. Well, thanks, Candace, for showing us your caboose. The caboose at the park there in Cameron. So this is our third stop on our July 4th excursion from that Janet with the 20th Century Railroad Club of Chicago wrote in and said, show us some of the sights along the way. And we are in Weyerhaeuser, Wisconsin. We're in Rusk County. We're kind of halfway between Barron and Ladysmith. So we showed you a couple sites. First Barron, the Barron Depot, and then Cameron at the caboose. And now we are here, our third stop at a historical marker located on the west side of Weyerhaeuser, Wisconsin. Official Wisconsin historical marker marking the location of the Chippewa River and Menominee Railroad. It's in a little area where you can turn off the highway. Crooked, rough, and muddy is the headline here on the historical marker sign, and I'll read it for you. But maybe you can come out here and visit. During the middle 1870s, when the great logging era of northern Wisconsin was in its infancy, the Mississippi River Logging Company attempted to float pine logs down the soft Maple and Potato Creeks to the Chippewa River, but the streams were too shallow and crooked. To solve the problem, the first logging railroad in Wisconsin was constructed in 1875 that's the winter of 1875 into 1876, from Potato Lake to the Big Bend of the Chippewa River, with a later extension heading northward. The town road, which can still be seen to our immediate west of the site, follows that railroad grade. Sleds pulled by horses carried the locomotive cars and tracks overland from Chippewa Falls. In July 1884, this railroad and a subsequent line constructed through the Blue Hills were formally organized as the Chippewa River and Menominee River Railway. So that right of way, which is U.S. Highway 8 right here, and so Barron's about 20 miles that way, and that would be you can see where the right of way is through here. This is where the pine trees are. You see the three pine trees here. You can kind of see how it's elevated and how it might go down into the old railroad bed. Of course, we're talking a long time ago. Talking, of course, 140 years ago, 130 years ago. So if you are taking our little tour and decide to check out some of the sites in the backyard of the Rail Rangers, make this your third stop after you stop in Barron and the caboose, and pull off, check out the historical marker that we just read off to you, and you can kind of see where the right-of-way would have continued right by the sign and would have continued to the east toward Ladysmith. So we're going to continue our tour. Candace has 2 or 3 stops she wants to show you in Ladysmith before we wrap it up. So I hope everybody's having a good 4th of July, and well, let's hit the road again, head another 20 miles to the east, and Candace will show us around Ladysmith, which is interesting because that's where a couple of the different lines come together, and there's a couple depots and a steam engine and some really cool stuff there Candace is going to show you.
Pretend you're a steam engine and you're going down the right of way.
Yeah. All right, enough locomotion. Let's go to Ladysmith.
Well, thank you for that fun trip there, Robert. Our last stop at that historical marker down the road in Weyerhaeuser, Wisconsin. We're here in Ladysmith, and our first stop is Old Smoky.
Ah.
It is number 1011.
Okay.
The steam locomotive 1011 was donated to the city of Ladysmith by the Soo Line Railroad in 1961. The 282, I always love to count the drive wheels to see what type of steam engine this is, but this one kind of tells us on here.
Yes.
So you get to cheat. I won't make you count.
It's a 282 Mikado locomotive.
Yes, and it was built May of 1920 by the American Locomotive Company at its Brooks plants in Dunkirk, New York.
Ah.
It was the first of 23 Class L2 and L20 engines built for the Soo Line. The locomotive and tender are 82.5 feet long and weigh 493,100 pounds.
Wow.
That's a couple of you, right?
No, that's about you after Thanksgiving. Come on. All right.
All right. Tender 4003 held 10,000 gallons of water and 17.5 tons of coal. Maybe someone can do the calculation while we're talking here and see how many tons that converts into pounds.
Wow, 10,000.
It was hand fired until a stroker was installed.
Or a stoker, one of the two.
Was installed in 1939, and it has a 63-inch driving wheel and operates under 170 psi of steam pressure. It has its original wooden cab, used in mainline freight service, and it made its last run on January 18, 1955, after traveling 1,496,991 miles. It was named Old Smoky by the school children who raised money to defray the cost of installation.
So we are located on there's Highway 8, which was our road trip. We're 40 some miles now east of Barron, and that's where what line is that? Do you know?
That is the CN line from the great city of Chicago.
Chicago.
Our deep dish pizza.
Yeah, it goes through Waukesha and Milwaukee too.
Right.
Yeah.
To Duluth.
Okay, which is that way.
We're going to take you just on a quick walk around Old Smoky here.
And just right located off Highway 8, you pull in just by the Ace Hardware.
That's right. Ace
also
Hardware.
Closed because it's the 4th of July. And they have a nice pavilion up here.
They've got a nice
There's your 282.
282.
There you go.
That's how you can tell what type of locomotive this is.
Yes. So they've done a nice job here in Ladysmith. You could see some of the, they still have their Christmas decorations on. I guess they keep those on year round because they have them on here in July.
There you go. Easy, you just plug them in and flip the switch.
You won't let me do that with the house though. No.
We'll see if this goes around. I'm not sure if it does, but we'll see.
Oh.
Watch out, cameraman, for the things on the ground.
Yeah. Give them the full 360 of Old Smoky here.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it looks like they kind of have a double security here. They have not only this chain link fence, but they also have some type of netting there also.
Probably a good idea.
It is.
And there's we'll show them the main line. So there's, I think, about 18 or so.
And there's a
train
engine down there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the camera guy can zoom in.
Oh, yeah. Looks like some little yard down there. I didn't know they had a yard. Maybe just a siding.
There you go.
Could be. Because a couple lines come together here in Ladysmith.
Alright, so we're going to take you down this side of Old Smoky.
Alright.
And then I'm going to take you to the depot.
Alright. Yes, it's got a tender behind.
And then the original wooden cab that I talked about. You can see the wood around the cab.
Probably the netting to prevent people from breaking windows and stuff on there.
Potentially.
People do stuff like that. We don't like that.
Alright, well we're getting down to the last little bit of Old Smoky.
Yeah. Alright, so what's next?
Next I'm going to take you to the depot. So let's go. Well, hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed our tour of Old Smoky. We're just a few hundred yards from Old Smoky. I can still see them in the distance over there. We'll pan over there.
Yeah. Yes, we were just right over there.
That's right.
Okay.
So we came just a few hundred yards away, and we're at the CN's current depot. So Robert's going to pan in on their cool mailbox.
It looks like one of their engines. It's kind of
like
cool.
One of their engines.
Yes.
And Robert is behind the camera, but he's going to give us a little history about the lines here and how they connect and where they go.
Yeah, well, this is the current depot, and Ladysmith is the junction between where the Sioux line, which we mentioned, went from St. Paul through Barron and up to the UP of Michigan, crosses the old main line from Chicago up to the Twin Ports. So there is the area where the two lines intersect. Of course, what was the Sioux line from the Twin Cities to the UP of Michigan is no longer in existence. In fact, just a little bit west of Barron, it is torn up, and they only go through Barron to go through Poskin and Elmina to go to a silica sand plant. And east of here, the line is also relatively torn up. Of course, the Canadian National, the main line from Chicago to the Twin Ports, is still very, very active. As you can see, some red signals here. But this is where those two lines crossed. It was a very busy railroad junction back in the day, and today the Canadian National owns both the lines. What is left of the original Sioux line, again from Upper Peninsula, Michigan to the Twin Cities, but not much left, just a little bit through Barron, through Ladysmith, and a little bit to the east of here. But again, the main line is still quite busy. Chicago up to the Twin Ports, probably a train every hour and a half or so through here. So this is the depot here used by the Canadian National, kind of near the intersection area here. And so there you go.
Thank you for that great information, Robert. I'm sure everyone enjoys knowing about the intersections of the railroads. And
of course, their communication tower here for the lines. Yeah.
There you go.
People like listening to the radio channels. So if you're up in here, you got to point out the tower too.
I'm not sure what frequency they run, but maybe some of you
yeah,
guys
put it in the
watching,
comments.
Put them in the comments. That way we can trace them at home. Hopefully, back in Barron, if we can get that far of a signal.
I might be able to. So you got one more stop for us before?
I got one more stop for you. I'm going to take you to the historic depot, and there's some pretty cool equipment there. So let's take a ride on over. And
all right, third stop in Ladysmith.
Well, hello everyone. We are at the third and final stop here in Ladysmith, Wisconsin, and we are at the historic Sioux Line Depot. We'll show you a picture of that. But I want to point out, just down the railroad tracks, maybe we can zoom in.
Where we just were.
We were just at.
So these are all really almost walking distance.
Yes, but don't walk down the tracks.
No. Yeah, you gotta walk around. So what lines are these here?
This is the line that ran from the Twin Cities.
Which is that way.
Is that way.
Yes.
Through Barron.
Which way we're at.
That is, our headquarters
yes.
here in Wisconsin. all the way to Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, so this is the historic Sault main line, but of course exempt. No trains really running through here.
Lots of traffic on the highway.
Yes,
there.
And that's where the lines intersect down there. Is
where the red lights are.
The very busy. Where that would have been again where the original Sioux line intersected the Wisconsin Central line from Chicago Waukesha up to the Twin Ports Duluth.
So I told you that this stop was going to have some really cool equipment.
Yeah, everybody was hoping you were.
I hope everyone was excited.
Yeah.
I have to cheat a little. I'm sorry. I had to check my facts before I shared with you guys because I didn't want to tell you wrong. So,
all right. So what is this?
This is the F unit.
Ah.
It is locomotive 500A.
Okay. Right. While we look at it, you have a little history for us?
I do.
Okay.
It's nicknamed Sweet Sue.
Sweet Sue, okay.
Not S-U-E, but S-O-O.
And it looks like that's locomotive 500A.
That's what I said.
Yes.
It was the first passenger diesel on the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Sault Ste. Marie Railway.
Wow, the first diesel on the Sioux line.
That's right.
I think that's, 1,500 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken?
That is correct.
Ah.
The FP7 heavy passenger engine was built in November of 1949 by the Electric Motive Division.
Ah, EMD, yes.
That's right, of General Motors as a demonstrator.
Wow. Piece of history here in Ladysmith. You'll want to come up and see this.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was acquired by the Sioux line in the spring of 1950, along with a cableless F7 booster.
Or cabless, one of the two.
Numbered 500A and 500B.
Ah.
They were painted in the Sioux line maroon and gold color scheme, as we see in front of us here. Before 1950, all Sioux line passenger trains were powered by steam locomotives.
Oh, okay.
The 500A and B were the first Sioux line diesel-electric locomotives in regular passenger service, pulling the Sioux Domination.
Sioux Dominion?
That's right, the Sioux Dominion.
Yes.
On May 22nd, 1950. Steam power on the Sioux line ended in 1955.
So very short 5 years from all steam to no steam.
That's right. This historic diesel, owned by the city of Ladysmith, has been restored to its 1950 appearance.
Oh.
The 250,000-pound locomotive is the only streamlined Sioux Line F unit preserved in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, did you know it pulled passenger trains until the mid-1960s? When the era ended, it was in freight and later snow plowing service all the way until 1985 when it was retired with over 1.5 million miles.
That's right. It is displayed with the U.S. Rail Post Office Railroad Express Agency Car 552.
Okay, which we'll get to see here.
Baggage passenger car number 358 and first class coach 998. All original Sioux Line equipment.
Let's go take a look at some of that.
That's right.
All right.
Unfortunately, with it being the 4th of July, they are closed, so we won't get to go aboard. But maybe sometime in the future we could come back.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We can give people something to look forward to.
You can maybe post updates.
That's kind of fun. You know, appreciate Janet and the 20th Century Railroad Club for suggesting we come out here and do this. Sometimes you forget about those things in your very backyard. So what do we have here? A tool and car house?
This looks like the tool and car house, kind of some tracks here that I'm standing between to enter.
Yes.
Up into the railroad post office car that's here.
Okay. Let's see what's around here. Oh, looks like some friends joined us here on the 4th of July.
We'll go up here. Maybe we can see inside.
Okay.
Maybe not. It's
Yeah.
set too far out.
Yeah, who knew they had so many old Sioux Line cars here in Ladysmith?
So we can't get real close to it, but you get a better view of it standing up here on the ramp. You can see the Railroad Express Agency incorporated on the side of the car there.
Oh.
Maybe through the glass here.
Yes, and it looks like they're doing some work normally, if they were open today.
Looks kind of empty right at the moment.
Yeah.
But there are some old trunks over here on the left-hand side.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Let's go take a look at the rest of the train.
Okay. And we just mentioned this is just not too far off Highway 8 as well. In a public area, a public park.
That's right. If you're
no admission.
If you're coming from Barron on Highway 8, you're going to make a right-hand turn at the four-way stop by the Quick Trip.
All right. Yes, everything in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin is...
everything's a right-hand turn at the Quick Trip.
At the Quick Trip. We like our Quick Trips. Oh, we have the parade coming through here on the 4th of July.
There you go.
Look at that. Local parade. So there's the Sioux 358 that we talked about a little earlier.
That's right.
And it looks like certain, you can check out their city website for when this might be open. Maybe weekends here in the summer. Maybe a chance to go on there and then the 998. And that was the first class car?
That was.
Okay.
I like how they have the little
silhouettes in the window. Yeah, look at that.
That's really cool.
Maybe that's Al Capone.
Ooh, that would be pretty awesome.
So there's the where the red light is again, that's the big railroad junction where we were a little bit closer at our last stop, but that's again where the east-west line between the Twin Cities and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, the Sioux line intersected the Wisconsin Central from Chicago and Waukesha over to the Twin Ports. So there are a couple more cars, right, before we wrap it up?
It's been kind of my theme of all of these programs.
Yes. Do we have cabooses?
We have cabooses.
No, caboose. No, you have geese. Wouldn't it be goose? Caboose? Goose?
No,
geese? Caboose?
Nope. It's just
oh my gosh. We have not settled this. How many programs have we done?
Yeah, everybody give a hands up if it's cabooses. Everybody give an angry face if it's cabooses.
Caboose. So what do we have? 2 more cars and then the old depot. The depot we showed you earlier, we wanted to mention, was of course that was the Wisconsin Central Depot. And this is the Sioux Line Depot. So I guess passengers might have to walk, or maybe they had a car service back in the day. I guess if you were transferring between the two lines. Maybe somebody remembers that. Transferring between the Sioux and Wisconsin Central. That would have been a long time ago with the passenger trains. Of course, mentioned this is now the Town Visitor Center.
Right.
So what do we have?
So we have the Sioux Line 99103.
Nice condition, nice cupola.
It's a beautiful cupola.
Yes.
And, we've told you some of the differences between cabooses, the ones with cupolas and the ones without cupolas. So this one, the guy would sit up there and watch the signals.
Yes.
And watch for fires or whatever else that needed to be told to the engineer.
Yes. And what do we have here? Can we go over here?
We can. No, you can't come up here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
window in it.
Oh.
But that's okay.
All right.
This is a different Sioux Line caboose. It doesn't have any markings on it, so I'm unsure about the number.
Well, or it could just be a tool car, a maintenance car.
It could have been made into to look like a caboose.
Yeah. Nice. We'll take a look around the. Mention that they do have a little donation box, so if you are stopping by here, we always encourage our Rail Ranger viewers to support them. So they have a rail display donation box. You can drop
so we can keep
drop a
on
$5
display for the future.
Yeah, go drop a $5 or something in there, and tell them the Rail Ranger sent you. And
right,
so this is again the other one was the Wisconsin Central. This is the Sioux Depot. So you could have rode the Sioux line from Barron, and then could have came here.
That's right. So I'm probably, maybe this is the freight side, looking at the doors that they have here.
Yeah, and a lot of freight on this line.
Yeah. So as we walk around,
we mentioned we're about 35 or so miles from Barron. So you could have went for a nice hour or so ride, maybe.
You can't really see in there.
Yeah, you could kind of peek in there and see. Again, it's the town visitor center, and closed because of the 4th of July, but that's all right.
And then we'll walk to the front.
Like I mentioned, old Highway 8, which we've been doing our tour on today.
Highway 8 is up there at the flashing red light, of course.
Yes, as I said, this is the freight side. There's the big freight doors. And so Rusk County is the county we're in. Barron is just to the west of here. Rusk is the county that Ladysmith is in.
That's right. So
and the historic marker.
The historic depot here now houses the Chamber of Commerce also. So you can maybe see in the window here, they've got an old typewriter.
Oh, they have, if you look through here, they have a kind of a painting in the tower, I'm trying to zoom in on it.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah. So there used to be a tower there. And that looks like we're the two depots. So maybe, again, I don't know the full rail history. It looks like the two depots were kind of next to each other. So maybe this one was perhaps moved here. Because in the painting, it looks like the two depots were, which would have made more sense for transferring passengers. So,
that is very cool.
So maybe someone who knows the rail history a little bit more of our area. We've only lived here for a year and a half. Maybe somebody can comment on our. Looks like they have a little gift shop too. Lots of brochures of things to do in the area, Chautauqua and snowmobile trails and stuff like that. So kind of cool.
Well, you can see the picture better in this window.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. So again, so two depots, I'm guessing, I'm presuming must have been right next to each other. Do they have a little display in there?
Yeah, there's an old typewriter.
Ah.
And it says Sioux Line Railroad on the Form 19 there. They've got an old telephone.
Very
and some other little stamps.
All right.
The old telegraph.
Yes.
And some other old telegraphs here.
And there's the trades are closed for the season, normally Monday through Friday. So I guess give them a call and see when they're going to be open. Looks very cool on the inside. Obviously, you know, not the best day to come here on a holiday, but we had to do some kind of program today for you.
That's right. And they've got a little small thing here, just their local area.
Very cool.
So,
well, it's getting to be 7:45 or so. We better
that's right.
Fireworks. The sun's starting to go down here. Fireworks are. Yeah, we got to fire up the grill and head back to Barron and see the fireworks.
That's right. So our next program.
Yes, when's our next program?
July 18th.
2 weeks from tonight, again, Sunday, 7 p.m.
That's right.
And where are we?
We're going to be in Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
We're going back to Mount Pleasant.
We are.
Oh.
We tend to
yes,
gravitate back there.
Because we've done the last year we did 2 programs from there. We did the we did Old Threshers. That was one of our first programs.
That's right.
And then we did
Amtrak station.
We did a tour with Ron with the Amtrak stations.
We're gonna join Ron again.
Oh, he's back this year.
He's back again.
All right.
And we're gonna bring Ed with us this time.
Who's Ed?
Ed is the owner of a very special railroad.
Oh, okay.
And that name is.
Oh well, we'll keep it a surprise.
That's right, but
it's their own little railroad. They have they own part of the original. We don't want to spoil it too much, but they own part of the original CB&Q right away.
That's right.
And they've invited us out for 2 weeks in a row. So July 18th will be the first of a 2-parter that we're gonna do for you from Mount Pleasant, and they're gonna walk us along the original CB&Q right away. And they have motor cars, so we're gonna.
Right. I actually get to go on a real ride this time.
Are they gonna let us on the motor cars? Okay, all right. So that's exciting. We will do that, and we will see you. Have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you 2 weeks from tonight, live in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, with Ron and Ed.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.